The alignment of the Moon and Mars in Synastry is one of the most potent and raw emotional signatures two people can share. When these two celestial bodies occupy the same space in a birth chart comparison, it suggests a fated meeting where the internal world of one person, Moon, is set ablaze by the drive and desire of the other, Mars. In a karmic context, this conjunction is rarely a new meeting. It feels like a continuation of a high-stakes narrative, one that often involves themes of protection, survival, and the balancing of the masculine and feminine principles. The soul's memory, a history of action and reaction. Karmically, the Moon-Mars conjunction often points to a past life where the two individuals were inextricably linked in a high-pressure environment. This wasn't a connection forged in a quiet library. It was forged in the heat of a shared struggle, perhaps as soldiers, rivals, or a family unit protecting their hearth. The Moon person carries the subconscious memory of the Mars person's strength, and potentially their volatility. Conversely, the Mars person is instinctively drawn to the Moon person, as if they are a home base, or a prize that must be defended at all costs. There is an immediate, visceral recognition. You don't just meet this person, you react to them. The alchemical friction, heat versus security. In this lifetime, the purpose of the conjunction is to learn how to integrate emotional vulnerability with assertive action. For the Moon person, they often feel that the Mars person can see right through their defenses. Mars acts as a catalyst, pulling the Moon person out of their shell. While this can be incredibly sexy and invigorating, it can also feel invasive. The karmic lesson here is to develop emotional courage, to not retreat into moodiness when Mars pushes buttons, but to stand firm in their sensitivity. For the Mars person, they find the Moon person's emotional world irresistible, but often frustrating. Mars wants to do something while the Moon just wants to feel something. The Mars person is learning the art of gentleness. Their karma involves tempering their warrior energy, so it protects the Moon rather than scorching it. The shadow side, the cycle of provocation. Because this is a karmic bond, it often carries a repetition compulsion. If, in a previous cycle, this energy manifested as conflict or domestic volatility, the pair might find themselves falling into a pattern of provocation and defense. The Mars person may unconsciously poke at the Moon person's insecurities to get a reaction, while the Moon person may use emotional withdrawal as a weapon to cool down Mars. This creates a cycle where the relationship oscillates between intense passion and intense irritation. The karmic debt is paid when both parties realize that the attack they feel is actually just an unevolved expression of deep, soul-level passion. Sexual and creative synthesis. On a higher vibrational level, this conjunction is an engine for creation. The Moon provides the womb, or the vision, and Mars provides the seed, or the execution. In many karmic unions, this pair is brought together to build something tangible, be it a family, a business, or a creative project. The chemistry is undeniable, because it is rooted in the biological imperative to survive and thrive. When the two learn to synchronize their rhythms, the Mars person becomes the champion of the Moon's emotional needs, and the Moon person becomes the intuitive guide for Mars's ambitions. The path to resolution. To resolve the karmic tension of a Moon-Mars conjunction, the relationship must move from reactivity to responsiveness. It requires a conscious acknowledgement that the urgency felt in the presence of the other is a remnant of a time when things were perhaps a matter of life and death. In the modern context, that urgency can be channeled into shared physical activities, a robust sex life, or a mutual us against the world mission. When the Moon person feels safe enough to be vulnerable, and the Mars person feels respected enough to be gentle, the karma is neutralized. The result is a bond that is not only passionate but fiercely loyal. A partnership where both souls finally feel they have a teammate who will fight for them, rather than with them. When the Moon-Mars conjunction occurs in a specific sign, it colors the flavor of the karma. Here is a brief look at how this intense energy manifests across the zodiac. Aries, the purest expression of this energy. Karmic lessons involve impulse control. The connection is electric, competitive, and often involves fighting for the sake of feeling alive. Taurus, stubborn and deeply sensual. This karma centers on possessiveness. The challenge is to move past material security and find a way to let the relationship breathe without being owned. Gemini, a battle of wits and words. The karma here is about communication. Arguments can be sharp, but the mental stimulation is addictive. The lesson is learning to listen, not just debate. Cancer. Highly protective and volatile. This is hearth and home karma. The Mars person can easily hurt the Moon person's feelings, creating a cycle of clinging and stinging. Leo. Dramatic and creative. The karma is about ego and recognition. Both need to feel like royalty. When they share the spotlight, they are a power couple. When they compete, it's a roar-off. Virgo. Nervous and industrious energy. The karma is tied to service and perfectionism. They may pick at each other's flaws. The lesson is to use that energy to build a functional life together rather than criticizing it. Libra. A paradox. Mars is uncomfortable here, so the aggression is often passive-aggressive. The karma involves learning how to handle conflict directly instead of keeping the peace until it explodes. Scorpio. The most intense placement. This is all or nothing karma involving deep transformation. It's magnetic, secretive, and potentially obsessive. It requires total honesty to avoid self-destruction. Sagittarius. Adventurous and philosophical. The karma is about freedom. They may clash over beliefs or the need for space. The lesson is to be each other's co-pilot in the search for truth. Capricorn. Structured and ambitious. This karma feels like a business contract. The passion is channeled into status and long-term goals. The challenge is ensuring the emotional Moon doesn't get buried under productive Mars. Aquarius. Detached and unconventional. The karma involves friendship versus intimacy. They may struggle with traditional romance, needing to find a new way to be together that honors their individuality. Pisces. Ethereal and confusing. This is spiritual karma. Mars's fire is dampened by the Moon's ocean, leading to a ghostly attraction. The lesson is to find boundaries in a relationship that feels like a dream. Subscribe to Karmic Synastry channel and learn how to navigate your relationships.